happening? Yeah, well, how you doing, man? Yeah. Welcome to the studio. I'm Dayo Lauye. I'm a painter, specifically. And this is my studio. I've been in it for the last 20 years. You're welcome. Please come in.
Dayo.
Yo, what's happening, man?
Thank you for the invitation to the studio.
It's a pleasure. It's my pleasure.
As usual, it's incredible energy and it's always amazing.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And I like to use the saying, you don't know what you don't know. And while a lot of people know you, there's still people who don't know you. So I'm really happy that you're giving us a chance to really learn a little more about the fingerprint of Dayo, who you are, how this great, powerful art come out of you, and how does it come out of you, and just some of the questions and answers that people have who don't know you, who would like to know you. So, with that said, I'm happy that in the tour you talked about a lot of things about your history.
Yeah.
But how many years now have you been painting?
I think, yeah, you would make me go into math now. I always say professionally, I've been painting since 1981, then eventually 85 for sure, because after 81, I did a general art and worked as a cartoonist, illustrator for the TV station in Nigeria in Ibadan. Then I went back in 83 to study painting per se through 85. So technically since 1985 I've been practicing as a painter, so that would have made it what? I'm thinking 25 years or so.
Yeah, about 25 years. Wow.
Yeah.
What is your philosophy, if there is a philosophy, around your style of painting? What moves and inspires you as an artist?
It's not far-fetched. It's actually recently that I look back that I've been able to gather more information on myself, or why I'm an artist in the first place. Being raised in a traditional setting in the Yoruba culture in Nigeria, in Ede and Ibadan. My parents are, of course, second generation of Westernly trained Africans, Yoruba folks. My mother from Ogbomoso, southwestern Nigeria, and my dad from Ede, southwestern Nigeria, but within the same culture, so to speak. So the culture and the town that they both came from are very rich in Yoruba folklore and Yoruba tradition, whereby you have festivals, a lot of ceremony, ancestral. The spirituality is based on ancestral worship, so to speak, or ancestral worship. And all these are filled with imagery when it comes to sculptures, music and musical instruments. It's faced with textile, colorful textiles, what have you. And so I strongly believe that probably that effect of being around the arts and music must have inspired me one way or the other. And so I would say that what really turned me on could have been, because in life, it's one thing to want to articulate what you are, but if we have to be honest with you, none of us know what we are until we become what we are. The Yorubas, as most Africans do believe, when a human being is born with, our life is predestined. So even though some of our elders around us might want us to form a certain way, some of us might not toe that line based on what our destiny might be. And it might be something joyous, colorful, there might not be. But at times, you can't force destiny, so it could have been destiny that brought me into this profession, and also to you and I sitting face to face and talking about the career that I call mine right now. Yeah.
Dayo, without question, you've affected me personally as an artist, professionally, and there's several artists that are your colleagues and that are part of this Southside art scene or movement that you had an effect on, including many collectors that are not only your patrons but also your good friends.
Yeah, thank you.
How has our culture and being an artist in an on the south side of Chicago affected you and your artwork?
It's quite easy. I grew up, you guys call something a nerd. Is that what you call somebody who just sit in solitude and don't hang out and study?
A nerd, yeah.
Whereas when I was growing up, I wasn't that. But my nerdness was more into drawing and doodling. And so I was just telling a friend recently that I don't, at times I could be perceived that I don't socialize, but I'm very sociable. But my best moment is when I'm in my entity. So when I moved to America in 2008, 1988, I really experienced a lot of solitude. And, when you feel you've left all you know. I came close to age. I was 29 when I moved here. Actually, it must be an anniversary about now. It was January 8th or January 7th of 1988. So, living a life a culture and coming straight, and I chose not to link any of my relations that are here coast to coast, because I believe my uncle who sent me, who was my benefactor, Engineer Taiwo, emphasized that dayo, in life it's better you carve a new path for yourself if you're in a new entity rather than doing what most people will do, which is when you arrive somewhere, most Africans or other cultures do it, you have a relation with somebody already that will receive you, and then you live with them until you find your own life. If you do that, indirectly, your life in that new culture will be tailored by the life of the people who are hosting you. So, when I lived in DC, I had to start a new life, and part of it I talked about earlier. The faculty at Harvard was more like a family to me. These men and women of Africans in America, who one way or the other through their profession have been to Nigeria, and especially during Festac. So the ability to have lived in Nigeria or visited Africa or know about Africa through their studies made them comfortable about Africans that are new here. And so they understood me. I saw my uncles or my parents in some of them, so that relaxed me. That has become the standard in which I pick friends or have been attracted to people in America, is that once I see a sign, and that sign is not hard to see. It's so easy to know an American that is not welcoming, and it's not a negative thing. If they don't vibe you, they don't vibe you. And it's so easy to see the ones that vibes you. In most cases, it might even be just the physical appearance of that person or the social behavior of that person, but you will see faces you've seen before. So what made me comfortable, I haven't moved from DC to LA briefly to work, and then eventually came to Chicago in 1990, is that I decided to look for an environment where I could see or feel comfortable. And when I moved to the south side of Chicago, I felt that way, and I've been here since. But what perhaps you are talking about, what people could have found, I won't say appealing, but what were comfortable in being around me or getting to know me will be the sense of self, which unfortunately that's all I have because I'm in a new environment. So I've wanted to